squadron. So they've got, instead of being disabled, so this sign, bottom of the sign has to be 5 feet. So the bottom of the sign has to be up here 2 inches above the entire sign. And the reason for that, it's not just a regulation, it's so that someone in an accessible van can see over the windshield dashboard to see where they are. But of course, these are the 2 supposedly accessible spaces marked handicap, which is obviously not a term that's been used in 30 years. And of course, took the corporation 30 years to remove that off the website and remove stuff using it. But this is stone and sand. So this is almost 2.5, 3 inches of stone and sand. A wheelchair can't roll over this. This is the disabled accessible parking. No, it's not. Look at the size of the stone here. Look at the size of this. This is just, you can't roll over this. You can't get through this in a walker. You trip and fall. Just as easy to pave these 2 spaces. Look how deep it is there. That's down to where the gravel is, and that's easily 3 inches of stone there. And then this is the path they expect them to go on over to the ramps that are too steep. So again, this ramp that has no ramp says where the accessible rooms are. So this ramp is 4 inches. That means it has to be 4 feet long. That ramp is 3 feet long. This doesn't work. I mean, obviously, they could have put something there. They didn't. Again, this is the path. You're supposed to, instead of having the parking here, which would have been very easy to do, it's all, just move the signs. Just mark this. It's very easy to do. Let's see if this door is open. The door's open, but it's more than 5 pounds of pull. So this is actually the lip of that is 4 inches. So this has to be 4 feet. And this isn't even 3 feet. This is 33 inches. And that lip is a little higher, so that has to be 4 feet. So that should come out to there. It's gonna come out another 14 inches. Same thing here. This lip of this door here is, it's about 3 inches. So again, this needs to come out 36 inches and it comes out 33 inches. Yeah, you just don't care. Just don't care. There's no accessible route to an accessible parking space. There is no accessible parking space along an accessible route to an accessible restroom and accessible common area on the island. The only ramp that I found is even close to being correct is the ramp going to the Gibson Island Historical Society, but the grass pathway heading up to it, there's no parking space over there, and the grass pathway heading up to it doesn't work. And of course, there's no accessible bathroom in there. That bathroom isn't close to being accessible. A report, I assume it's by an architect. They won't show it. Originally, they said to all the stockholders on the call they were going to show it. They confirmed in writing twice they were going to show it. Then they said they're not going to show it because they said all of a sudden it was paid for by their counsel, even though that's not what they said on the call. That's not what they said in writing. Their excuse is going to be that all these facilities are rented by the club. Most private clubs in the United States are allowed to discriminate. If they're private clubs and state of their mission, they're not open to the public. If they're open to the public for an event, then they would have to have accessible parking across accessible routes, accessible restrooms. They have to make it accessible for the public event. The difference between the Gibson Island Club and every other club in America, and any club, any tenant of the facilities on Gibson Island Corporation signed an agreement, the Carson settlement, and that agreement says that they will require that all the facilities leased, there will be no discrimination against race, creed, religion, color, age, disability, and sex. National origin is included. So there can be no discrimination on membership, on accessibility, on anything. And the corporation was doing the right thing initially after the judge said that the settlement was fair to the corporation on June 12th, 1991. On June 21st, there was a meeting. James White set up 2 committees to cancel the lease with the club and take back the properties. Henry Hopkins was the head of the labor committee. Tyler Burton was head of the finance committee to get that done in case the club chose not to comply. That was on June 21st. Meeting minutes are available to everyone. And by July 29th, Carson settlement got recorded in the court on July 5th. By July 29th, 1991, they chose, instead of doing the right thing, they chose to try to circumvent it, and they conspired, the club and the corporation did, to add not only the 2 clauses they were required to do in the club lease under the Carson settlement that was recorded in the court, they conspired to add a 3rd clause called enforcement, which basically took all the rights away from all the disabled people, all the protected class people all over America for these facilities. And that's the way, and they buried it. They buried all that information. That's why they don't hand out the Carson settlement, which is in violation of 17-322 of the Maryland Code. That's what it's Maryland Code says that you have to disclose. Sarah Kenny has to disclose it. Jeff Kenny has to disclose it. Absolutely. Matt Kimball has to disclose it. Gibson Island Real Estate Division, Gibson Island Corporation's Real Estate Division has to disclose to every single person the Carson settlement because it affects their property rights. It's a very unfortunate situation we're in.